Assalamualaikum. The Humanity of Muhammad, A Christian View by Considine. This book starts with discussing religious pluralism. The author points out how Christians are oppressed in certain Muslim countries and how this contradicts the teaching of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. The Quran confers a special status to people of the books, i.e. the Jews, Christians and Serbians, and permits them to freely practice their religions. A Jewish author, Yuri Ivri, points out that there has never been a Jewish Holocaust in the Muslim world. This is followed by a discussion on civic nation-state building. After migrating to Medina, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, made an agreement with the different tribes to make sure that no single group in Medina would be able to seize control of the power dynamics in society. The Medina Charter, also known as the Constitution of Medina, established equal rights between Muslims, Jews, pagans, and Christians who lived there. This document is believed to be one of the first, if not the first, constitution in history that guaranteed freedom of religion and conscience to all members of a nation state. According to John Andrew Morrow, it was a unique system which had never existed before and has never been since, despite honest effort to emulate it. The Prophet is regarded by some to be the first anti-racist. His view on anti-racism is illustrated by his lifetime friendship with Bilal bin Rabah, a former Ethiopian slave who rose to a leading position in the Muslim community. When Abu Dhar al-Ghifari referred to Bilal as the son of a black woman, the Prophet admonished him and said, "You are a man who still has the traits of ignorance in him." In his farewell sermon, the Prophet stated, "An Arab has no superiority over a non-Arab, nor a non-Arab has any superiority over an Arab. A white person has no superiority over a black, nor does a black has any superiority over a white, except in piety and good action." Few religions place as much emphasis on knowledge as Islam does. The Quran mentions knowledge more than 700 times. In the 8th century Al-Andalus, Muslim scholars who inherited large volumes of Greek philosophy texts, which had been lost to Europeans for centuries, translated them from Latin to Arabic. It was Muslim scholars who brought back the ideas of Socrates, Aristotle, and Plato to Europe. In the 9th century, a Muslim engineer in Al-Andalus named Ibn Firnas constructed a flying machine. The emphasis on knowledge and education led to the founding of University of Salerno in the 13th century, where Ibn Sina wrote his famous book, The Canon of Medicine. A discussion about Islam would not be complete without a discussion of women's rights. In 1873, an American judge, Pierre Kravitz, said that Muhammad was probably the greatest champion of women's rights in the world has ever seen. He also said, Muhammad's outstanding contribution to the cause of women resides in the property rights that he conferred upon the wives of his people. The Muslim spouse, insofar as her property is concerned, is as free as a bird. The Prophet warned against persecuting others. A Muslim who harms a non-Muslim at peace with us will never smell the fragrance of paradise, he said. While Islam permits Muslims to retaliate when attacked, if their enemy offers truce, they must accept and desist from further violence. This book was written in a way that is easy to understand, definitely an interesting read. In the description, there is a link to a talk by the author about the first anti-racist.